Hello, is anybody there? This is Lonnie with Crafty Traveler, and I'm live wanting to talk about the Baja Adventure trip. The video just premiered for the first episode, and it showed Terry and I leaving our husbands at home to fend for the pets, and our drive south to Potrero Campground, where we stayed for 2 nights. There'll be probably a total of 15 or 16 videos for this Baja Adventure. I haven't finished editing them all, but a lot of them are already scheduled. And the next video, I believe, will be of the Potrero Campground and the little pet that they have at the ranger station. Carrie and I do take a little hike around the area. There's a trail, a nature trail we go on. And then finally, on the following Monday, we crossed the border and drove down to Clam Beach, where we spent the night and went out to dinner. From there, we went to another campground where we boondocked. And about 3 or 4 videos will be at the Guerrero Negro campground. And there'll be 2 videos of our whale watching and whale petting. That was quite an experience. We saw some beautiful whales. They are protected there, but not as protected as they are in the United States. The tour boats can only go out 5 or 6 at a time, and they can only stay out in the bay 90 minutes each. It was a wonderful experience. The whole trip was a total of 16 days, and then Terry and I had a couple of days that we had to go to and from home. And we went with Fantasy RV Tours. And if you don't know about them, look them up, fantasyrvtours.com. They take caravans all over the country, Mexico and Canada, and all the way up to Alaska. Terry had found out about Fantasy RV Tours while we were at Quartzsite in 22. She and her husband were there, and we met them for dinner, and she told me about Fantasy RV Tours and that she wanted to go to Baja to whale watch. It took me about 6 months to finally decide to go. It is a bit pricey, but we split everything, and it seemed to be fine for us. We took her RV because hers is a little larger than mine, and we were quite comfortable. Everything worked on her RV, and we didn't have any issues along the way. Unfortunately, a few people did have a few issues along the way, but they all got home fine, and we had a wonderful trip. Carol and John were our wagon masters, and they were fantastic. Carol is very organized. She knows what she wants, and she tells you what is needed to be done. And as long as everyone does what she says, all goes well. We all laughed a few times because it's kind of like herding cats. There were 22 RVs. Actually, the numbers ran to 23, but there was no number 13. We were number 10. And that's where I like to be, in the middle of the pack. Although we didn't have to line up per number, we could just pull up and go whenever we were able to go. But I like to be in the middle. We all had walkie-talkies, and Carol would notify us if there was a obstruction or a big rig, semi big rig, or something coming from the front. And our tail gunners were Jeff and Wendy, and they always brought up the rear in case someone needed assistance. And they would call out on the walkie talkies if someone was passing, like a big rig was passing. The roads are narrower in Mexico, and they have quite a few potholes, and they have topes, which are like speed bumps. So you have to go a little slower to get where you're going. And when those big trucks come by, they zoom by, whether they're coming from the front or the back. So it's always good to know when they're coming and from what direction. Because when you see the semi coming, you need to pull over to the right as far as you can, which isn't usually very much because there's not usually a shoulder, and slow down or even stop to allow that semi to get past. It was a great trip. The weather was a little cooler than I expected. When people say, "What'd you think of Baja?" Well, I thought it would be warmer. I'm glad I had my down jacket with me, and it was quite breezy sometimes. We didn't sit around the campfire for too long because it was kind of cold. When we were on the Sea Cortez a couple of days, it did get warmer. It was in the high 70s. Still wasn't warm enough to go out there in that water, but it was at least warm enough to wear short sleeves and shorts. We went on an eco tour when we were at the Sea Cortez, and went out and saw lots of birds and sea lions, and that was enjoyable, and that's in one of the videos coming up. So all in all, it was a great trip. I'd recommend anybody to do it. A lot of people go down on their own, and that's great. I don't know that I'll be able to do that. I wouldn't mind going with a group, but Fantasy RV Tours took very good care of us. And anytime anyone needed anything, they were there. In fact, Jeff went out of his way. There was one RV that had a big flat tire, and this RV was huge, at least 45 feet. He has 10 tires on that RV. And we were over by the Sea Cortez, and of course the little tire shop did not have the size tire that he needed. So phone calls were made, and Jeff and the owner of that RV had to drive over 100 miles to get the tire and turn around and come back. And one of the cardinal rules that I have seen and heard many YouTubers say, don't drive in Mexico at night. Well, they did, and luckily they came back safe. The next morning, the RVer took the tire to the tire shop, and they were able to put it on. That was the biggest thing that happened. But all in all, it was good stuff. Oh, hi, Chuck. Good to see that you made it over here. Chuck is one of the, and his wife were on the tour with me, and we got to know them quite well, and it was good to see them. You just chat. You just type in, Chuck. Type in the chat line, and then I can answer you. This is only my second live, so I'm kind of new at it myself. As you can see, I'm in my RV. I'm on another trip. I'm headed across country this time. I'm following Route 66 and all the way to Illinois, where my daughter lives. Hello, Sue and Merton. Good to see you here. Thank you for stopping by. I just watched your video, Merton, of you redoing the floor in your RV. That is a big job. I sure wouldn't want to tackle something like that, but I'm sure it'll be beautiful when you get it finished. So the Baja Adventure videos, there'll be 15 or 16 videos. I'm not sure exactly. I'm only about halfway through editing all of them. They're scheduled out until May for sure, and then as I add more, there will be more. And then after the Baja Adventures are all finished, then I'll start the videos for my Route 66 trip. Yes, Merton and Sue, I hope to see you too in Massachusetts. If I haven't given you those exact dates, I will message you with them. Thank you for watching my videos. I know that you watch my videos too. Yes, Chuck, you just type right in where you're typing, and then I see it on my feed, and I can chat with you there. Oh, Snickers is here. He's asleep. He's sound asleep in his little bed. He's enjoying the trip. Every time I go out the door, he's got to be with me. I had to do laundry today, and so he had to come with me. If I don't bring him, he just barks. So, where is everybody? Are you all at home? Have you done any other trips since Baja, Chuck? And Martin and Sue, I know you're home because you're busy with your RV. And then how's your house sale coming? I did take Snickers into the laundromat a couple of times, but it's hard to handle him and get my laundry in the washing machine and the dryer. So when I was doing that, I left him in the car, and I could see the car from the laundromat. Yes, and he barks. But when I took him for a walk, and I went in just to check on my laundry, and he was fine. And there were people in there. He didn't bark at them. He's getting very good about being around people. He is now my service dog, and I have a vest for him, and it is a legitimate. He's a legitimate service dog. So I'm able to take him places now that I couldn't take him before. Good, Merton and Sue. You're waiting for the appraisal. Good. Good. It takes time. And I don't know, do you have to have inspections, like termite inspections and stuff? I know we do in California. Yeah. We're doing fine. We're doing just fine. I know I had scheduled this for tomorrow, but today I'm at a place where I have excellent Wi Fi. So I rescheduled it real quick. Yes, Chuck. Merton and Sue are friends of mine. I met them in Quartzsite. They live in Massachusetts. And I'm going to go visit them when I get to Massachusetts. Oh, the inspection went well. That's good to know. Great. We're doing good. We're doing good. This may not be a good time for some people. It's around their dinner time, but it is what it is. Any other questions? Any other comments? Somebody dinged my phone here. Just a minute. People are confused about doing lives. They are not sure how to respond. Okay. Yeah, all my remotes are back here. Actually, I have a couple by my bed too. This one is for the Maxi fan, and then that one is for the TV, and then I have a Blu-ray uh, remote up there, and I have another remote that is for um, there's a little computer up there on that, and for that big TV, and then I have a keyboard that operates that computer. And when I'm on Wi-Fi, I can watch my premiere channels on my big TV. And then I have a little TV by my bed, and I have a Blu-ray. So I have the remote for the TV and the Blu-ray, and then I have another little remote that operates the little electric heater. So if I'm plugged into hookups, I can push the remote on, turn the electric heater on, and not get out of bed. Yes, Chuck and his wife were on the Baja trip with us. Yes. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, it was an experience, that's for sure. Like I say, I wouldn't mind going back, but maybe going over to Rosarita Beach or somewhere on the Cortez side, just go over the border and go over there. But I don't think I'd go myself. I'd go with a group of people. Maybe I can get a group of ladies to go from my lady group, my lady glampers. Yeah, it was a beautiful trip. Exciting, a little scary, but mostly beautiful. Okay. Well, I'm glad, Chuck, you're here, and I'm glad Merton and Sue are here. No, I don't think Chuck was the one that lost the air conditioner. No, that was Leroy and Sydney from Montana. Yeah, you heard about that, huh? Yeah, Low Branch, and they were the highest. They had a big fifth wheel, and they were had the tallest rig. And unfortunately, the the branch took out their air conditioners. And then they got home, on their way home, and they had some spring and strut problems. But all is well now. Yeah. I don't know if you can see this painting. This is a watercolor painting I did of Point Arena Lighthouse on the coast, just south of Fort Bragg and Mendocino. It was a photograph, and then I painted it, and that's an original Lonnie Nagy watercolor. Uh, no, Chuck did not have the flat tire, and neither did Leroy. That was somebody else. There were a few mishaps along the way, but everybody got through it okay, and we all got home safe and back over the border. Yeah. So, well, I think this is going to be a short one. I thank Sue and Merton and Sue and Chuck for being on with me. But I think I'm going to end it here. I think I've said everything I need to say about the Baja Adventures. I hope people watch them. They're pretty exciting. They're pretty interesting. And I hope I get some new subscribers. I've got 941 subscribers right now, and I really need the hours. So if people are watching this after the fact, if you could play my playlists, I'd really appreciate it. And them, share the videos out. and make comments and thumbs up. Thanks, Merton and Sue. I will do my best to stay safe. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Bye now. Stay crafty.